The big news in Asia right now is the reorientation of the Philippines towards Russia and China and away from the United States that has been carried out by newly elected President Rodrigo Duterte. As you recall, he's the very controversial leader who advocates killing drug addicts as part of his war on drugs, which has received the support of the Communist Party of the Philippines, who are looking to get some of their members as a part of the government and surrender revolutionary struggle to a guy who murders poor people. Very communist of them. Now, he recently went on a trip to China where he said that was it. He was breaking off things from the United States. That was it. They were no longer going to be in business. Now, after having come back on the 22nd, he said he would not sever an alliance with the United States. He clarified his position that he did not plan to separate, but change the way things work. In other words, his main criticism was that whatever the U.S. said in terms of foreign policy, the Philippines automatically had to do. Now, here's his actual statement.
You know, you have to take my words in the context of what I've been saying all along. It's not severance of ties. When you say severance of ties, you cut the diplomatic relations. I cannot do that. Why? It's to the best interest of my country that we maintain that relationship. Why? Because there are many Filipinos in the United States. Americans of Filipino ancestry. Why? Because the people of my country is not ready to accept, I said separation. What I was really saying was separation of a foreign policy. In the past, and until I became president, we always follow what the United States would give the cue. What he would give the cue that we are there, we follow, pasunod-sunod tayo. Hindi ako magsunod.
Now, he has said that he is willing to create a military and economic bloc with Russia and China. But I think it's important to understand what he's really saying here. When he's saying we don't want the foreign policy of the United States, we want to determine our own course. Here's what he's really saying. He's saying they want to trade with whoever they want to trade with, and U.S. foreign policy that says you're not allowed to do deals with X country because we're currently in opposition to them, to hell with that. What they're saying is that they want to do deals with whoever they want and does not want the United States to tell them no. Okay, for example, the U.S. is coming up against an alliance of Russia and China, so they would naturally want the Philippines to not do any business with those two countries. Now, the Philippines isn't saying they're going to kick out U.S. businesses. They're going to keep them there. I mean, they'd be a fool not to. The economic effects of doing that would be absolutely great, as he did mention in the speech. What they're really saying is that they want to carve their own path and do business with what they want. They want an economic prosperity, and they don't see that as merely doing whatever it is that the United States wants them to do. They're going to do trade and engage in relations with whoever they want. So this really isn't an anti-imperialist message. It's really more of an independent foreign policy message. He still intends, for the most part, to keep the economic mechanism of imperialism inside the Philippines by the United States. So I think this was a big mistake on the part of the Communist Party of the Philippines, who thought that this was really an anti-imperialist message, when it's not. Now, the full effects of what he's going to do have yet to be seen. He may not be telling us everything, and he's planning something on the side, but we'll have to wait and see about that. In either case, this does show a very big miscalculation by the Communist Party of the Philippines, who endorsed him as a candidate despite his terrible, extremely terrible human rights record, particularly with regards to violence against the poor, and shows that now they're coming out and telling Duterte to be wary of Chinese imperialist ambitions and Russian as well. You see, that was kind of one of the criticisms I had of the Communist Party of the Philippines, was that they didn't actively acknowledge that China was an imperialist country, and that they too had their own set of imperialist interests. But all they did was say that, oh, China was a victim of the U.S. They kept touting them as an anti-imperialist force, and now they're telling Duterte that they're an imperialist force too with their own interests. So we could see kind of the political maneuvering that the CPP has been doing lately, and it has not been working out for them very well. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.